Hey guys, so today's video is something that's been super highly requested on my Snapchat. If you don't follow me there, I'm just Alina. Literally, Snapchat fam, real fam. Sometimes I get a little weird on Snapchat, just be prepared. I am fully 100% unapologetically myself. Just beware. I feel like it should come with a warning, you know what I mean? Anyways, today's video is kind of like a review of the Kyshadow from Kylie Cosmetics. Now, I would have done this a little bit earlier, but I felt like I should have saved this video until I received my Shaaanxo palette from BHCosmetics. As soon as Kylie announced this, the world went crazy. Twitter was like ablaze. People were saying that Kylie copied Shaaanxo's palette because they're way too similar side by side. Now, when I first saw the pictures, to be honest, on Twitter, I was like, wow, they do look so similar. And I was like, what just happened? But now that I had them side by side, I have like a couple of issues, couple of like love it, don'ts, we'll see. But I'm going to compare these kind of in swatches side by side to try to see if they are dupes for one another. And I'm actually going to do a demo and do Kylie Cosmetics on one eye and Shaaanxo on the other and just see how they blend, how they look, and all that fun stuff. And just tell you how you can get these shadows in cheaper versions and different palettes that are similar and like yada yada yada. Basically, it's going to be a fun time. Alright, so I was pretty ridiculous and did not swatch this the right way, so you guys are going to see it separately. But anywho's, let's just go color by color. But before I do that, I just want to talk overall. I've noticed that the Shaaanxo palette shadows applied a lot smoother. I did apply a primer onto my arm first, and then I went ahead and swatched these. But the Kylie Jenner palette, there's just 3 shades that constantly, even when I swatched it without primers, just gave me a little bit of fallout. It may have not have been fallout, but it was like chalky. So when I swatch it, there's just like residue, and what you have to do is you have to blow it off. So that means that when I am going to put my brush into the color, it is going to just get messy and all that fun stuff. But I did not see that in the Shaaanxo palette. So Kylie's palette, most of the colors are actually matte. Shannon has a majority of like satin colors. I don't see many shimmers. They're more like satiny, you know what I mean? So let's just go color by color, and I'm just going to talk it out. So the first color, Kylie Jenner's shade is a lot lighter than the one that is from Shaaanxo. I feel like Kylie's just applied a lot better. If I were to apply it on my own eyes, it would just show up better. That's really all I got from that color. The next one's, the Shaaanxo palette color is actually a little bit more pinky than the one from the Kylie Jenner palette. That one's a little bit more warm, kind of a true champagne shade. But Shaaanxo did include 2 kind of light colors. The first one's like a little bit more pinky champagne-ish color, but more like cool toned than the Kylie Jenner one. And the second one was actually that one that I compared to the second color in the Kylie Jenner palette, which it just looks like a shimmery pink, you know what I mean? And then the third color, which I was talking about, that shimmery light pink that I compared to the second one in the Kylie palette, it doesn't have a match, so I matched it with the next color from the Kylie Jenner palette. It's just this like brown, and it's a matte brown. Like there's no comparison, but again, I saw that fallout there. It was just kind of messy. The fourth color in both palettes is actually the only one that I found that was relatively similar. They're very, very, very close, but I do feel like Kylie's has a little bit more of like a pure gold shimmer in it, and the one that is from the Shaaanxo palette just applied a lot smoother, but it doesn't have as much dimension as the one from Kylie, but it's very, very subtle, so I could say those are like complete dupes. Now, the next color is that warm orange color. The orange color in Kylie's palette is like a pure orange. Again, I saw that fallout. It was chalky, so I had to blow off the excess in order to get like a pretty swatch. And the one in Shaaanxo's palette is more of like a yellow toned. It reminds me of Peach Smoothie from Makeup Geek, like a whole lot. But Kylie's color I only found in like Morphe's palettes that I had. So it was like a unique color to her palette, and the one for Shaaanxo was unique to her own palette, so I wouldn't call those dupes. The next color is like a matte brown in Kylie's palette, and Shaaanxo is just, it's more like a cool toned, and again it's shimmery, so not really a match for anything. The next one is that warm cranberry. Now Kylie's is more of like a brown toned cranberry, and Shaaanxo's is more just like a really redder brown. So they could be dupes, but honestly, I have so many colors like this in my collection that you could probably find a better dupe than these two palettes for one another, but they are quite similar. So yeah, the next color is actually that dark brown that's in Kylie's palette. In Shaaanxo's palette is just, it's more matte, to be honest. The one that is in Kylie's just has a little bit of a sheen to it, but the one in Shannon's is just like a flat color. So Shannon's is like between dark brown and black. Kylie's is just like dark brown, and then she has a separate black. And then Shannon throws in like a duochrome color that, to be honest, when you swatch it, it looks just like a warm cranberry color, and it kind of matches that cranberry color from Kylie's palette. Wait, can we like focus for a second? This color right here, that warm cranberry in Kylie's palette, actually matches the duochrome in Shaaanxo's palette a whole lot more than the actual cranberry in that palette. So these two could actually be considered dupes. However, this one is not matte and it is duochrome. It has like a bluish greenish undertone. So when like you move it around, it does have like a sheen to it. And then the black, Shaaanxo's palette does not have a black. So overall, I feel like there may be, if you're pushing it, 2-ish, 2.5 that are kind of dupes for one another. Besides that, I feel like they are unique to each other. Do I have colors like this in my collection? Yes. I mean, I can point out colors from like a bunch of different palettes that look exactly like these. So do I think they copied one another? No, I don't. I feel like it's just you're very limited to certain colors when you're thinking about like bronze or neutral palettes. I can literally pick a color to match every single one of these shadows in all of my palettes that I have. Like in my collection, I can find dupes for every single one of these. Packaging wise, I think the Kylie Jenner one is just a whole lot better. To be honest, Kylie created hers and it is small, it's compact. It reminds me a whole lot of the Makeup Geek Manny MUA palette because they're both just the same weight. That's because Makeup Geek made these. Number one, it has a mirror. So this is one of my favorite palettes, by the way. If you don't have this one, you need it in your life. But these are all magnetic, so if you wanted to, you could pull them out and it would be perfectly okay. Kylie did the same thing. It's in pans, but they are like magnetized. So there's a magnet back here, and that is why they are all stuck in here. So if you really wanted to, if you didn't like this packaging, you can just pull these out and put them into a palette like the Z palettes I have where I keep my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. So this could be like really convenient for traveling and all that fun stuff. Shaaanxo's palette, on the other hand, these are all glued in. If you take a peek and you notice, there's just like big holes on the sides of these. They're not put in specifically where the holes are supposed to be. So some of the eyeshadow is like under the cardboard. Like, so there's a part of the eyeshadow is over here and I'm not going to be able to reach it. But these are glued in. I tried to move them around and they don't shift. So unless I completely break up the packaging and smack things around, they're not going to move and they're going to be kind of just uneven. So you can tell that this is made a little bit cheaper. This is also a little bit more bulky because it does have the lip colors on the other side. I do like that this comes with a mirror. The Kylie Jenner one really would have been so great if it had a mirror, just like, you know, for traveling purposes. Can you shove a mirror in here? Yeah, you probably can glue one on, but to be honest, it probably won't close, so that's going to like just mess up everything. Alright, so I did my makeup just really quickly the way I normally do, and looking at the eyeshadow, I can definitely tell that the Kylie Jenner palette really just stands out more. It blended a lot easier overall, and just looking at it now, it looks nicer. It looks like like a professional makeup artist, while this one, with the Shaaanxo palette, I was really struggling to blend it in, and I mean, if I was not comparing it to the Kylie palette, I would have probably just said that it was perfectly okay, that like it looks great. And it does. It does. It's not like a bad palette, because if it was a bad palette, I would tell you guys. But the only thing is, when you compare it to the Kylie palette, like right next to one another, you can tell that this one is just more high quality. Blended so much easier. This one I struggled a little bit more, but I probably would not have tried so hard if I didn't see that this one blended so much better. So the formula on these is super different. The one like over here and the one right there just melted in so much, so did this one. Like I just touched it and like my brush sunk in. I am really, really impressed, especially with this color right here. It is so, so pigmented. Do I think these lip colors are going to last? Probably not. You can see it's starting to move in the corners right now. Like, it just doesn't seem like a lip color that's gonna stay. Well, now I have pink lips. Did I get my teeth? Alright, so for the smackdown, let's get to just like quick facts. Basically, I really like this packaging a lot better. It's slimmer, it's smaller, and I like the fact that I can pull these eyeshadows out. I'm not a big fan of these two. The other colors I really like. The mattes she did is a really good formula. They look beautiful on the eye. They blend together just seamlessly. These two colors, though, not so much. I just really love Full Out Shimmer. I just feel like they weren't giving it to me. They were just, like, there. And I realize these are supposed to be, like, very subtle, but it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like them, and I'll probably pop them out because you can pop these eyeshadows out, and we'll replace them with something from Makeup Geek just to, like, pop into here if I, like, need to travel with this palette. I do like get a little bit like emotionally invested in the fact that she didn't include a mirror. Like, by looking in here, I'm not seeing myself, I'm seeing Kylie, but I'm not even seeing her like pretty face. Like, she could have put a selfie here or something, like, you know what I'm saying? These eyeshadows are really great if you're like a professional makeup artist and you feel like these eyeshadow colors are speaking to you another level. Great, this is awesome. But the thing is, I feel like this is nothing special. This is not a palette that I feel like I need in my collection because I can literally find these colors everywhere else. I do like the way they blend, though. I am happy I got it. The packaging is really cute. But do I feel like I would have died if I had not gotten it? No. The Shaaanxo palette, though, you get a lot more for your bang for your buck. If you are on a budget, this is definitely something that you can go for. You can see the eyeshadow like looks are pretty similar, so like you can barely even tell. However, they are it's because I used eyeshadows that were quite similar in these palettes. I did want to go for a medium brown to like deepen up the look a little bit more in the Kylie palette, but Shaaanxo's palette just does not have that medium brown that's not shimmery. She has a lot of like satiny colors, and they're really pretty, and you could make completely different looks with this. I think this one's a little bit more limited because it is like mattes and they are all in like the brown range. This has really shimmery colors. They're really nice. I feel like you could probably do a little bit more with this one, but again, there's a reason why this is $22 and this one is like $42. This one just like they don't blend as seamlessly. Had I not compared them to one another, I would have not even noticed. I would not have said anything about this, but because they're right next to each other on my eye, I can tell and I see that this one definitely has a little bit more quality. This one does come with 9 more lip colors. If you are all about these types of lip colors, then go for it. This is just not my cup of tea. I don't really like lip colors that are in pans, and these kind of just remind me of like really pigmented lip glosses, and I'm more about matte colors right now. Don't know why, just that's the way I live, but I do appreciate that there's a mirror on both sides. This is just a really handy traveling palette. Like, you have basically everything except like face products in this. It's really handy. Shannon did such a great job on this. Good job, girl. So there are pluses and minuses. Do I feel like this is overpriced? Maybe a bit. I probably would have done a little bit cheaper, but again, I don't know what formulations are in here. I do realize that Kylie's palette does not have parabens. It's like sulfate free, I believe. BHCosmetics, I think, still has those, but I don't see any ingredients list on here, so I'm not sure. If there's something else that you want to compare this to, there is the Morphe 35O palette. It does have a bunch of like orange warm tones. It won't dupe every single eyeshadow that is in the Shaaanxo palette or the Kylie palette, but it does have a bunch of nice neutral colors, and I do feel like this is up there as well. Again, it also depends on ingredients. Kylie's definitely has higher quality ingredients, and they're listed on the back right here, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and give this video a giant thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, I just want to say I'm proud of both Kylie and Shannon. I don't know either of them, but I'm just so proud to see women in business, especially in YouTube and entertainment and just like in the social media realm, just rise up and create things, because it's just like so nice to see that they're like getting recognition and that they're seeing success. And I'm proud of both of them. The palettes are different. They're not like 100% the same, but they're both great. They're just different palettes, and it's up to you what you choose. So let me know in the comments below which one that you're like leaning towards more if you were to buy one, or if you did buy one, which one did you buy and whether or not you liked it. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll probably see you guys on Snapchat more quickly than I'll see you anywhere else. So see you later. Bye.